Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to the Hungry Bleak podcast. I am Antonio Pomares, and this is the season finale. It has been an arduous tasking for me to do this half of the season with everything that's been going on in my life. So I was like, you know what? It's like a good time for me to just chill, relax. Summertime. That's it. Cool, great, awesome. So we're gonna do that. So yes, after this episode, I will be taking a break, do other things, and just try and compress, relax. But thank you for everyone who is on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and after the show, I will be doing the audio version for the podcast. Hope everyone's week has been well. Hope you feel better. If you are having any breathing trouble from the smoke, which there's been some more of it today, unfortunately. As I go live today, yes, this is Friday. This is not a pre-recorded episode. This is live. You can tell because my incredible forehead is all shiny and such from sweating because it's 80 or something. I don't know. It's hot. I don't like summer. I'm not a big fan of heat. I am a winter baby. I am an ice baby. I need to be in cooler climates. If you give me fall or early spring when it's still kind of chilly, like this past spring was perfect. Chilly enough in the mornings where I could wear like a thin hoodie, shorts, go out on a walk, maybe have a hot beverage. Good. Then by the middle of the day, it was a little bit warmer, maybe 70, 75 is probably as high as I want to go. I'm good. Perfect with that. But yes, today's weather, the air quality hasn't been really great. More of the smoke from the fires and such. That's okay. It'll clear up. It's not as bad as it was the day when the sky was orange and it looked like straight up red sun. Like somebody was trying to take the powers away from all of the Kryptonians on Earth. So that's cool. So let's get into it. Excuse me very much. So we've got comic book news. Okay, so first thing up, excuse me again, my goodness. I don't know what's going on in my throat today. Must be something in it. So, again, excuse me. Valiant has ended up, they're actually inked a deal with Alien Books. Valiant's been going through a lot of trouble lately. Well, I shouldn't say trouble. They've just been going through hard times. Not like Dusty, but they've still been going through hard times. Hard times where they've only been publishing like one book a month. I don't know how they're getting by on that. I can't even imagine a company doing that, especially a company as big as Valiant. Valiant has been around since God, 2000s. I want to say, maybe even earlier than that. But they've been around for a while. They were gone for a bit, then they came back, and they had this great run of comics. I want to say maybe in the 2010s. I'll say they came back and it was really great stuff. I have a lot of their books. Like you have books like Ray, you have Bloodshot, you have Shadow Man, you have um, Archer and Armstrong, you have their biggest one that they have their flagship. I guess you could say it's their flagship title is the one with the armor. My God, Exo Man of War. Excuse me, thank you, Exo Man of War, which is actually a really cool comic. So for them to do this deal, I'm hoping this actually helps them out a lot because they really need to be brought back into prominence. This is a company that could be, because it's a shared universe too. So it's not like a lot of the Image books or Dark Horse books where they're separate things. Valiant is a shared universe. We actually had a movie from Valiant, Bloodshot, starring Vin Diesel. I enjoyed it for what it was because it was something different. I think this is a company that could quite possibly, break in really great into movies, have that shared universe, or even do like some series. Maybe Amazon, Casada. You're over there now. You're looking for indie stuff. This would be a great thing to do. Have like a 6 or 8 episode series based on these characters. I think that would be a great thing. Shared universe, awesome. So hopefully, they can get something going because, like I said, this is a great company. Oh, it was 2020 when the Vin Diesel movie came out. Okay, and they've just got some really great properties. I hope this helps them out, because I don't want to see any publisher fall in such a horrible way. I mean, I don't want to see any publisher fall at all, but I want them to go back into prominence and become even larger than they were at that time, because nobody was really doing a lot of shared universe stuff. It wasn't even really thought of at that time. I mean, Marvel may have been thinking of it because they were starting to develop Iron Man, but nobody was really doing it big like that as far as live action series. Maybe even do some animated stuff. I could definitely see some of these animated tales as well. They have a huge roster, and they even have things that go into different universes, different time periods. There's a character, a Time Walker. I mean, this will be awesome. I think this is one of those things that you could definitely do. So hopefully they'll come back into prominence. They'll do their thing. Crossing my fingers for Valiant. So next up is Virtuous Con Summer Creator Workshop. Wow, I did say that. I, for some reason, thought that I was saying the words in the worst order possible. Horrible. So we all know Virtuous Con, created and started by Cerise Renee Murphy, award-winning author, acclaimed creator, and doing this incredible Virtuous Con, which is the con that you can do from the privacy or from your own home. You can have your family with you and everything like that. You can holler on the computer, or however you want to cast it on your TV, what have you, and it's virtual and it's great. Well, this summer they're doing their second workshop, which they have an incredible roster of heavy hitters, creators that are going to be teaching up and coming creators, people who want to get into it, what have you. They're going to be having these workshops for them to help you hone your craft. I think this is a great idea. The first one was really, really incredible. So the second one is great, and it starts on July 5th, this Wednesday. It starts with Rodney Barnes. I mean, look at these names that they've got on here. Just some of the most incredible individuals possible. I mean, TJ Sterling, Aletha Martinez, who are two of my favorites right there. Then we've got Carla Moon Medrano. You all know her. She Moon, the creator. She was on the show as well, talking about Luna. Very fun, awesome. Tim Fielder. I mean, Leslie Vashti. This is a who's who, folks. So if you are looking to hone your craft, get better, you want to learn some things, or maybe polish up on a couple things, what have you, this workshop is for you. Like I said, it starts this Wednesday, at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It starts with Rodney Barnes. This dude is awesome. I mean, he's one of those names that when you got him, you got him. So definitely check that out, please. It is one of those things where it's a great thing to do during the summer. Just become better at what you're doing and really hit the ground running. And it's kind of think of it like a summer camp where you're learning all these great things, again, from your home. You can just sit right there, take your notes, learn, and put whatever you're learning towards your own projects and honing your craft. I think that's great, right? I thought so too. So there you go. So on that note, folks, the next thing we've got coming up, because we are doing some rapid fire here, I guess, right? Right? A little bit. No? Okay, cool. So the next thing we've got up is we're doing Kickstarters. You all know how I feel about Kickstarters. I'm a huge fan of Kickstarters and everything that they do, crowdfunding people's projects and bringing their dreams to fruition. But you're also helping to bring something else into this, another form of content. I hate that word, content, whether it's a movie, whether it's an album, a comic, a novel. You're helping someone do this, and I think that's a very important thing. So one of the first things we've got up is we've got Immortal Dark. This is a favorite of mine. So Immortal Dark is about this fighting tournament, and it's really, really cool. And it's about this brother and sister who end up coming back together in this tournament. Now, I've read one is phenomenal. I loved it. Number two, you get even more of a fight because you have the brother and sister, Nico and River, going at it, and you're having this great fight that has to be stopped. So the Kickstarter just started, and you have a total of 14 days to get in. I donated earlier today because I didn't even realize that it had started. I thought it didn't start till next week, so I had to jump in on this. And again, this is one of those really awesome comics with a lot of uh, just action, incredible colors as well, very bright, bold, and beautiful. The second issue, I feel, um, the art was a bit different, and I felt like it jumped out a bit more, so the fights felt a little more in your face, a little bit closer. Seeing them go at it, and just seeing black characters in a manga in a fighting tournament going all at it. One of the things I did love as well, and it might seem like a little thing, but 5 years ago we weren't getting this, was the fact that there was a character who was a part of a culture where they only identify as non-binary. So it's just they. Again, nowadays that might seem like a little thing because more and more people are doing it, but I still loved it. I still love the fact that it was a black manga, black creator, and having non-binary characters, because representation is important. Not just skin tone, but also how you identify gender-wise, how you identify it, as far as your sexuality. Those things matter. So if you're getting characters of color, black characters, and then also having characters who are non-binary, who are gender fluid, who are trans, who are uh, anything other than cisgender, as far as how they identify gender-wise, is cool, is creative, and for it to be in a in a manga, in a fighting tournament, plenty of action and all that, I'm in. And they've got some great rewards. As you can see, they always see the tiers here going on. I was a huge fan of the first one. I found out about it on where did I find out about? I found out about it on IG. Yeah, IG. And as you can see, some of the art there from the book is just, it just looks like everything you've ever wanted in life. Look at that kick to the stomach. Awesome. That's one of the characters, Nico, James Church. Definitely got to try and get him on the show this year. And it's just awesome. Actually, you know what? Let's see if we can just show this. How would that be, folks?
We spend most of our lives trying to reclaim what trauma steals from us. Control, love, joy, happiness, purpose, acceptance, agency. And some of us, if not most of us, die never realizing that trauma can't steal any of these things from us. It can only steal our ability to see these things for ourselves. I am James Church. Most people in the Philadelphia arts community know me as Enoch the Poet. I am an author, trauma-informed educator, the executive publisher of Black Minds Publishing, as well as the founder, and also a manga writer. Manga is essentially a Japanese comic book. Even though I am not Japanese, I feel comfortable calling my work a manga because it falls within the vein of that artistic style and form of storytelling. Immortal Dark is a Black supernatural martial arts manga that takes place on the continent known as Jura, which is a predominantly Black continent that's split into 8 different countries with varying cultures, forms of Black identity, and characters that express and engage in multiple different ways. Nico Savage is the main protagonist of Immortal Dark, and he is an 18-year-old martial artist trained since he was 5 years old. He is from a culture of people called the alchemists, who have the ability to transmute their skin into gold. But Nico has a special hint to his ability, and he's actually able to turn his skin into onyx instead. Onyx is a much harder material than gold.
That's just a little bit of what you'll get there. Like I said, awesome. Yeah, this is, yes. I'm gonna have to go. I'm getting hyped just thinking about it, so I'm gonna have to go back and read the first 2 issues again. Yeah, which is awesome. Gotta see if they got t-shirts, because yeah, I would be down to wear a t-shirt. So yes, please go check that out. I have the link is in the bio, obviously, as always. You can go check it out. You can watch the full video, the full trailer. The full trailer is about 8 minutes or so. Go check it out. Well worth it. And you hear all these great things about this comic and the details, like you're talking about Nico and transmutation. Yeah, the fighters have different abilities. which is what you want in your tournament fighter martial arts mangas. You want fighters that have some type of little something going on. Maybe not all the way Dragon Ball Z, but you definitely want them to have something special that it comes from their particular martial art. And to have it be a part of a nation that's predominantly black, and like I said, to have a culture of people who identify as non-binary, I just thought that was a really cool thing. And that's in issue 2. So I already was really digging the comic. Then I saw that part and I was like, okay, bet, cool. So yes, please go and check out, as always, go and check out Immortal Dark, issue 3, Kickstarter. A lot of tiers. I don't have catch-up tiers where you can go and check out some of the previous things that were there because it's awesome and it definitely needs to be seen. All right. Thank you very much for that one. Awesome. Now, as you folks know, look, speaking of Kickstarters and crowdfunding, you know that I've been heavy advocating Afflicted Season 2. And their crowdfunding is necessary so they can pay the voice actors and the cast and all the crew that work on this incredible podcast, this audio drama horror thriller. Look, you don't want to hear it from me. Why don't we hear it straight from Ransom Media? This is the crowdfunding trailer for Afflicted Season 2.
Whether it was witchery, some modern science, or a demon let loose from hell, I am unable to decide. Williams Bell, from an authenticated history of the Bell Witch.
Who's there?
From 1817 to 1821, an entity calling itself Kate tormented the Bell family of West Tennessee. There is still no widely accepted explanation for this haunting. Coming summer 2024, on the new hit audio drama Afflicted, the Bell Witch returns to haunt a family in 1960s Tennessee, but only if we raise enough money to pay our cast and crew a living wage. Help bring this haunting to life and snag exclusive rewards like limited edition supporter t-shirts, producer credits, and more at afflictedaudio.com/support. But do it quickly. Some perks are limited only to early supporters.
Yes. So as I've said before, please go and support. If you're not sure about it, go check out the first season. Within the first episode, you will be like, yeah, bet I need to check this out because it is awesome. I absolutely loved it. If you are a fan of gothic horror and if you are a fan of True Blood, this is definitely for you. It has a wonderful, absolutely wonderful cast of actors that did such a great job with these characters, and it was fun, it's horror filled, and it gave so much where you can see where it was going to go each season, or as far as like being able to go to different time periods as well, because the book has been all over, and the central point of the story is the book and how wherever it's at, it causes some type of situation, some type of supernatural situation for it, and seeing how the people in that area, in the vicinity, deal with it and how they handle that situation. Like I said, huge fan. Within like a first episode, I was like, oh, okay, bet. Second episode, great. Tanya Ransom was on the show, and she's phenomenal. Absolutely love what she's doing between Afflicted and Nightlight, as well as the other podcast that Ransom Media is helming. Definitely go check these out. They're well worth it. As always, in the episode description, I have a link for you to go check out the podcast. And if you're able to donate and help fund this, please do. If you're not, share it around. Tell a friend about it. If you know someone who enjoys podcasts like true crime podcasts or any type of podcast, truthfully, just tell them about this. I listen to a few podcasts, like a handful. I don't know why I actually put my hand up like this, like a handful. I don't know how many a handful actually is. But this is one of the ones that when I was in it, I was in it. It was just, yeah, it was like sitting there eating comfort food. That's how it felt. And it was awesome. Truly enjoyed it. So please check out Afflicted. Well worth it. So let's do some comic book reviews. The comics I have that's a nice little wide gap of comics. So let's start with Creed. This is from Boom Comics. Excuse me. Now, I had just watched the movie the night before. So I was like, okay, bet. The comic's coming out. Watch the movie. I hadn't watched the movie yet. So I watched the movie because I was watching all the Rocky movies. Then I was going to watch all the Creed movies. I was like, let me just read this now. So I read it and I was blown away. Awesome. So this is Creed. This is number one. This is from Boom Studios. Now, I want to make a point about this. Okay. Now, creative director is Michael B. Jordan. Obviously, our writers are Latoya Morgan, Jai Jameson. Color artist is DJ Chavez. Artist is Wilton Santos. Letterer is And World Design. Now, something that's very special that I love about this comic. Let me see if I can zoom in on it really quick. No, I cannot. Okay, fine. But what it says here is that special thanks to the Black American Sign Language. I'm reading all this without my glasses, by the way, so give me a round of applause for that. Roxanne Summit, who actually was the one who helped to translate, who was the consultant for this. I love this book, not just because of the story and because, again, we're having another, this is like the second book. This is similar to Immortal Dark, where fighting and you have a female character who is an incredible fighter. But this one is, I loved it because of that, and also because of watching the movie and seeing how Amara was actually marrying her father Adonis. But there's there's Black Sign Language in it, so they incorporated into the text and how it's shown. I absolutely loved this. I thought it was incredible. It's great. So we start out with Amara in the ring, in a fight, but then we go back a little ways to show like how she got there and everything, and she's becoming this really great fighter. And you see her doing the training and such like that. But look at the hands. Now in the story, this is 10 years down the line. So this is in Los Angeles 2033. So this is 10 years from the last movie. Now, in the story, Amara is deaf. She is deaf. Adonis can hear. He learns sign language. Now, also, we have to remember that Amara's mother in this story, has gone deaf, totally deaf. So she also uses sign language as well. So they communicate through sign language and also reading of lips. But notice something very quick. As you're looking at the text, excuse me, as you're looking at the text, notice that as they are actually speaking, when they're doing the sign language, the word bubbles come from the hands. I don't know why I'm moving my hands as if I know sign language, but I don't. But this made me want to learn sign language, truthfully. The sign language is coming from the hands. So when they speak, you'll see it actually coming from the mouth. But when it's from the hands, when it's from sign language, you see it coming from the hands. You can even see the different bubbles there when they're actually speaking. I thought this was such an incredible detail, such a wonderful little nuance to this story. Again, representation. I was speaking earlier about representation as far as your gender, how you identify, and how you identify sexually, as far as your sexuality. This is another one where it shows representation from someone who's differently abled, someone who is deaf, who can't hear. To incorporate this into the comic, I thought was incredible. Again, the nuance, the subtle little something that can be thought of as being so small, but yet is so big, and it's incredible. And I loved it. I fell in love with that immediately, and it made me go deeper into the comic. So we're watching as she being trained by her father, and how she ends up being grounded. Now this show also shows Adonis as a businessman. I love the fact that they're this power couple, and they are doing this in business together as well. While she's still doing music, and so it's like producing music anyway as well. She's not doing music because she's gone totally deaf. Excuse me. And Amara is asked if she wants to go into this kind of like this underground fight. So she goes, okay, yeah, I'm gonna go in. I want to check it out. And as she dives in, and she goes up against this fighter, and she's starting to get beaten a bit. Adonis comes out of nowhere and is like, no, this is not gonna happen. Stop. No. And she's getting ready to go up against this other fighter called Jamie Pierce, whose nickname is Slayer. Now, something I love about this is look at Jamie Pierce. The look of Jamie Pierce has a definite feel of Clubber Lang, Mr. T's character in Rocky 3. I know that's not the character, it's not related, what have you, but I just love that subtle little nod there. The earrings, the mohawk, I love it. It's yeah, I fell in love with this comic. So we see that she's been grounded because of the fighting, because of going to an underground fight. She decides she still wants to be trained. She wants this fight so badly. So she goes to find a fighter. She finds a fighter, and it's Artemis Creed, Adonis's sister. I'm not sure if this was ever mentioned in the movies. I don't remember it personally, but I have to go back and watch the other two movies because it's been a while since I've seen them. This blew me away. This blew me away. I absolutely love this part. Oh, spoiler alert, whatever. So yes, this is definitely one to go get. This was, yeah, I fell in love with all these little things, little nuances. I love the fact that we're bringing Artemis Creed in here, who is known as the Butcher. She was 52-1. That's a ridiculous record. And even seeing the look on her face of arrogance and who you and okay. So yeah, I definitely say if you have the ability to go and get to go and get Creed from Boom Studios. Yeah, I love it. Michael B. Jordan being a creative might be behind this, being a creative director, did a phenomenal job. I think it's great. Again, the addition of sign language and how they're showing the words coming from the hands instead of the mouth. Phenomenal. I want to even see if I'm guessing that some of even the signs that they've used are actually signs in Black Sign Language. So I love that. So that's something that I definitely got to check out. So yes, please go if you can. Go and check out Creed from Boom Studios. It's going to be 4 issues. Hoping it's more than that because I need me some more of that. Truthfully, it was just dope. So next one up is this title is quite funny. The the oddly pedestrian life of Christopher Chaos. So this is from Dark Horse. This is from, you should already know, James Tynion IV. If it's a Tynion book, I gotta grab it. I think M. Shai Dash put that into my head. When I see Tynion's work, I have to look at it. So Tynion, this is based on an idea from him. Script is from Tate Bromble. Art is Isaac Goodhart. Colors are Miguel Muerto. Oh, God, I love that name. Letters from Adita Whitaker. So, it's the story of Christopher Chaos, who was like a genius kid with social anxiety, possibly autistic. I'm not sure exactly. And this is also from Tiny Onion. And we see events happening where Christopher's trying to figure out blood and everything. And Christopher's actually telling us a story. So Christopher's sitting on the sidewalk telling us a story about what has been happening. And basically their life. From birth to being left, to being adopted, to being able to see that they could figure out the slightest things at a moment's notice. But all of that genius, all that intelligence is so hard to keep under wraps and to keep control of. It's like trying to hold an air bubble in your hands, and you can't. It just has to expand and expand and expand. So because it's very hard to hold an idea once an idea sticks into your head and it begins to grow, and you add on to it, and you add on to it, and add on to it, it's very hard. That's kind of what it's like in Christopher's head, except a plethora of ideas and everything coming at them at once. Another thing I love about this book is the fact that Christopher is gay or bi, not sure, or possibly pansexual. Christopher is queer, and Christopher has a crush on one of his classmates, And I love that fact of this sci-fi horror book with the lead is a queer teenager who is trying to figure out, not just who actually has their sexuality figured out, but it's all these ideas and everything and this genius that they're trying to figure out and trying to get a hold of and cultivate. So I love that switch of being comfortable with that, but then trying to figure out the genius part of it. It's usually the opposite. They're trying to come to terms with their sexuality. Christopher's already there. And then we see that Christopher's actually been telling a story to a pigeon. This is Christopher. As you read the book, you begin to realize, yeah, that's something that Christopher would do. Even though this is your first time meeting Christopher, this is something that Christopher would do. So Christopher also wears goggles all the time. I believe that is because of sun sensitivity, but I think there's more to that we're going to find out a little bit later in the story. So Christopher sees their crush, Kyle, I believe is the boy's name, going through the, Caden, excuse me, Aiden, going through these woods, trying to figure out what's going on, following them, see if they're okay, and then realizes that this boy that Christopher has a crush on is a werewolf. And that the werewolf is being hunted by these hunters, these white-clad hunters, druids, possibly knights. We're not sure exactly. And they kill a young boy, and Christopher is trying to figure out and deal with that and what happened. Talking to his mother, and his mother knows that he is queer, and that he likes this boy, and coming to terms with it. And he has all these ideas of, I want to tell her this and tell this and tell her, but I don't tell her. And once that happens, Christopher goes outside and talks to the pigeon. And the pigeon's name is Peggy, by the way. And as they're talking, you think everything's going to be okay. Peggy gets hit by a garbage truck. So as this is happening and all the trials and tribulations, everything's been going on, and everything that Christopher goes through, they have an idea. I'm going to bring the pigeon back, a la Frankenstein. They do, brings the pigeon back. There's a huge kind of explosion in the garage. Pigeon is back. We see little scars underneath, like little cuts underneath Christopher's face from the goggles, from all the energy that was given off by the machine. And then in the epilogue, the pigeon, because of nature, goes and flies to where there's a park and other pigeons to feed. And this young man notices the pigeon and goes, that's a different pigeon. And we go from there. I absolutely love this book. Tinian is always on point with his ideas, whether he's writing or whether it's just something that came out of his head. I love the sci-fi horror aspect. Again, I love having a teenage queer lead who already has a handle on her sexuality. They're trying to figure out the genius part of everything. I thought that was really incredible. This is another one. So I heard about this months ago and I wanted to check it out, and I did. I'm happy I did. So this is from Dark Horse, and this is The Oddly Pedestrian Life of Christopher Chaos. Yes, it is a long name. I totally realize that. And then last up we have is, excuse me, again, my goodness, but hold on, man. We have Death Transit Tanager. This is from Lethal Comics. Hope I'm saying the name right. For some reason, every time I say the name Tanager, it doesn't seem right. This was a Kickstarter one. This was from maybe the end of last year, beginning of this year. I can't really remember, truthfully. There's so many Kickstarters. They all begin to run at the same speed, the same time, all at once, it feels like. This is also from one of my favorites, Carl Kerschel Isola of Image. But this is from Lethal Comics. Now, Carl wrote, drew, and lettered the comic, which is ridiculous. The variant was done by, variant cover D is done by Matteo Scalera, who's one of my favorites. If you haven't read Dead Body Road, read the first the first arc of it. There are two different stories. Hopefully, it will come back as an anthology. But the first one has Mateo's art, and it's always diabolical. So the story starts with a spaceship flying through space, and we see Tanager is escorting this elderly man to a planet to figure out what happened to him. He's trying to piece together everything that happened to him. He was injured. He was hurt. Someone hit him with something, I believe. And then we find out that there's blood everywhere, all over the ground. And we begin to realize that, and as Tanager was able to actually kind of remap everything with his technology, we find out that, the old man is dead. Tanager is kind of like a Grim Reaper, and they transit you, or transport you, I should say, to your body when they can't figure out what happened to you. So after fighting this beast and on this planet, or asteroid, I should say, big moon rock, let's say, or space rock, let's say, and they figure out everything, Tanager begins to fight, shooting the beast. Pretty cool weapon. Love the design of the clothes. Carly said this was Metroid. Samus was a huge influence on the suit. Could definitely tell. Find the body of the old man, and he's able to rest. After going through all of these creatures, find out that the old man was hit, killed, bludgeoned, then thrown down this hole where all these beasts were. And so this Tanager was transiting the spirit to the remains so they could come to peace, have closure, take the time they need, and then they go off into their final resting place. And then they take the remains back to wherever. I thought that was such a cool story. I love it. Then we get kind of a prequel of what happens to Tanager before they become a Death Transitor. Which, when you look at this story, you can definitely tell this is Carl. All the coloring, the lettering, everything, you can tell this is Carl's work to a T. The colors are always so vibrant. This one was cool. And we see that it started out on drugs or taking this drug, I should say, that just mess you up, and not a good relationship with parents. Kind of very distant, very estranged, I guess would be the word to say. So this isn't available just yet to everyone, but it should be soon, hopefully. But it definitely has everything that you want, that you need. So I would say, yeah. This is from Lethal Comics. First time I've ever heard of them. I'd actually want to see what else they have out. Again, I don't know. But if this is anything like if this is just the tip of the iceberg of what's going to happen, I'm here for it. I want more of it. Let's go with it. So yes, that was that. So there we have it. I would say good. Everything that was there, awesome. Between Creed from Boom Studios, the oddly pedestrian life of Christopher Chaos from Dark Horse Comics, and then Death Transit Tanager from Lethal Comics. And I have just popped 3 of my knuckles every time I touch my finger for some reason. I don't know why. So there's that. They all came, Tanager, like I said, Death Transit Tanager was from a few months ago. Kickstarter came in this week. I read it. Awesome. Creed was from this week, and the oddly pedestrian life of Christopher Chaos. I'm going to keep saying the whole thing out because I think it's a long title, but it's very good. All this week, and they're awesome. And I know when I come back in September, there will be so much more that I will have to go through. I might just have to do a whole episode of that. We'll see. But on that note, like I said, it's Friday. I'm not going to do the usual spiel. we do the best we can with everything that we have in front of us and around us. If there's a medication that you're taking for whatever reasons, please do take it. It's important for you to be physically, emotionally, and mentally at your best. That's the most important thing. Once you're able to once you pour into yourself, then you can pour into whatever else you're doing. But you are the foundation for everything else that you're doing. This week, my tip is it's okay to walk away from people. If someone is truly negative and toxic and is not enriching you, if anything, they are taking from you, they are making your days and your months and your weeks and your hours or whatever period of time you want to say draining you, then don't do it. It is okay for you to step away from them. It is okay for you to take that time and feel better about yourself and be better about you. It's okay. Sometimes people grow apart. We see it in relationships. We also see it in platonic friendships. It happens. But it is okay for you to walk away and go, I can't do this anymore. This isn't working. You're taking away from my life more than you're adding to it. It's totally okay for you to step away and say, I'm good. If anything, I implore it. Sometimes we try to make light of it, like, oh, I'll block somebody, I'll block this. And we try to almost glorify it. I'm not trying to glorify it, but it's a natural step that you can take. And it's okay. It's okay. Block the person on social media if you need to. Just delete them out of your contacts, what have you. If you truly feel like that person is not, if they're draining you, if they're making your life more difficult, harder, even if you try to talk to them about it and they're not there, it's totally okay for you to just go, yeah, okay, and step away. It's okay. That's that. So that is my self-care tip for this week, for the season finale. It's okay to walk away. Okay, so what's on my plate? So this is gonna be a bit of a different one. Okay. This is definitely gonna be a different one. Now, I've done restaurants, I've done restaurants, I've done bars, I've done one bakery, Magnolia Bakery. Well, this time I want to talk about Levian Bakery in Harlem. This is a block away from Melba's, a block or two away from Melba's, I want to say. The cookies. Look at this. Look at this bad mamma jamma right here. The cookies, folks, are just diabolical. Yeah, everything here is baked daily. You can check out some. Oh, look at this. Oh, God. Oh, beautiful. Look at these. Look at these. They've got all types of packages for cookies as well. They actually do delivery, I believe. Also, yeah, they do nationwide shipping. They do local delivery or pickup as well. I absolutely loved it. They've got local orders. They've got cookie gift boxes. Whatever you need, they got you. I don't know why I said it like that. Yeah, but they are just a phenomenal place. I absolutely love it. Let's see if we can take a look at some of their cookies. Oh my God, look at the chocolate chip. Oh, these are beautiful. Those are beautiful. Oh God, I love cookies. So let's just take a look. So you can, like I said, you can do a local pickup or order. They have gift boxes for all over the place. So let's take a look at some of the cookies that they got going on up in here. The cookie that melts in your mouth and warms your heart. You are not lying. So they've got the Rocky Road. They've got the summer cookie assortment. They've got signature cookie assortment, chocolate chip walnut, chocolate lovers. Oh God, look at these. Wait, caramel coconut? Oh yeah, you had me at caramel coconut. I don't mess with coconut. They look almost like cakes, almost, but they're beautiful. Wait, they have vegan gluten-free chocolate chip walnut. Okay, I'll have to put that on the list. They've got they've got gift bundles as well, which I love it. They've got merch. You know, I'm all about the merch, but the pièce de résistance is the cookies. I've had the chocolate chip cookies there. Very filling, incredible. My next goal is, if I'm ever able to stay in New York this summer, my goal is to get them along with some ice cream, possibly Tipsy Scoop ice cream with these cookies. It is a wrap, folks. I'm done. It's over. I will not be heading home. I will be there all day, every day. So, yes. So, if you can, Levian Bakery, it's in Harlem. Like I said, it's about a block from, maybe 2 blocks down from Harlem, about a block away from Harlem Tavern. Honestly, that whole street, Frederick Douglass, is a heavy hitters of eatery. Heavy hitters of eatery. I believe that Red Rooster is on that street as well, is in that same area. You can't go wrong. But after you hit up Melba's, or you hit up the Tavern, Harlem Tavern, or you hit up Red Rooster, I need you to go over to Levian Bakery, get the cookies. I was there a couple years ago with a bunch of my cousins. We had a nice family get together after years and years and years. Some of us hadn't even met each other. Had the cookies, went there. That we had the cookies, and then we were like, "Bet we're still hungry." Then we went over to Tipsy Scoop and got some of the Tipsy Scoop ice cream. That was my favorite first time there. I haven't looked back since from Tipsy Scoop. So yes, that was a perfect summer day. That was in that was in on August, maybe I want to say August, maybe 2 years ago. Bananas, banging. We loved it. It was awesome. So yes, Levian Bakery, Harlem. Check them out. Also, they, like I said, they have delivery nationwide. They have nationwide, folks. Didn't I say nationwide shipping? They got you. Look at this, nationwide shipping. You let them know what you need. They got you. They're gonna hook you up. They're gonna tell you what's going on. And they're baked daily, shipped nationwide. Doesn't get any better than that. Support Harlem. Support cookies. Support people. Support eating good stuff. That's what I'm here about, folks. That's what I'm here about. So, all right, this is going to be the season finale, like I said. So let's do one more bleak perspective for everyone, shall we? How's that sound? Sound good? All right, cool. So here's, folks. I overthink just about everything. I do. I overthink what I'm going to wear, to communicating with someone who I care about, to what I'm going to eat. I overthink a lot of things. When I was a kid, and someone would say you overthink, and I would say, yeah, well, I have to make up for all the people who aren't thinking. Ha ha he ha he. But it can really get in the way of simple things. Now, I'm not overthinking to the fact of where I'm wondering which socks to wear, but I do a bit of overthinking that is unnecessary, and it can kind of weigh me down a little bit. And the overthinking actually can cause anxiety, which then is not necessarily the best when you're trying to do something that's in front of a camera or in front of a mic. It kind of make you a little wonky. And I know that there are people in the geek culture who definitely do overthink and who have anxiety, social anxiety, all manners of mental and emotional ailments. I know. So what I'm learning is that overthinking makes me beat myself up, and it's not good. So over this time that I'm going to be taking a break, I'm going to be working on that. I'm going to be working on the overthinking and beating myself up because I'm not where I think I should be. Everyone's path is different. Everyone's pace is different. If everyone met at the same spot, at the same speed, at the same time, it would be like the Big Bang. Everyone would collide at the same time. We need things to be different here, there, everywhere. And I know that. I know that very much. But sometimes I still do it. And I'll go because of me finding my passion late. Because I've had to take time helping my mother recover. from a stroke. And from her, she had a stroke and the dialysis, and then having another stroke. She's coming around so much better, and she's so much stronger. And I'll beat myself up. I'm like, damn, I've lost time doing this, and it's not her fault. It's not anyone's fault. It's just, but I beat myself up on it because I wasn't, and that causes anxiety. And I think I'm not as good as I should be. So if somebody says, "Hey, you're good at this. This is what. Hey, you want to do this?" I don't believe them because I don't think, why am I good enough? Why? So yeah, that overthinking can go into a lot of things. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna not overthink. During the summer, I'm gonna do what I can, how I can, to the best of my abilities, because that's all you can do. Even as I'm doing the work right now, literally right now, sometimes something might creep into my head, and that's not good. But every day I work on it because I know what I can do and what I can't do. But I also know that I can show you better than I can tell you. And I think I've done that this past season, of showing better than I can tell. So my pledge is that when I do come back in September, the show will be a bit different. I will be a bit different. Hopefully it'll be better. Another thing that kind of zonked me out was the fact that New York Comic Con. You all know I hate applications. I hate explaining myself or trying to prove myself or that. So that adds into it as well. That anxiety of will they, won't they, will they, won't they, will I get in, won't I get in, will I get in, won't I get in, will I be there this year? Hopefully. I don't know. But I feel like the best that I can. Last year, I didn't have as much variety as I have this year. This year I've got way more variety. Next year I'll have even more variety. The year after that I'll have even more variety, and so on and so forth. Between this and doing work for Subsoon Studios, to be announced is the name of the show on YouTube. Check it out. More and more I do, the better I get, the more I have there. I'm a work in progress. We all are. But that's okay. Because that's the thing. But what do I know? I'm just a short, middle-aged black man who is drinking some green tea, mango flavor, out of a bleach mug, wearing a Shang-Chi t-shirt. I'm just a boy standing in front of a cam, asking you to listen and watch me. Yeah. So on that note, folks, I hope you all have a great summer. Enjoy it. Sunscreen, be careful. Use off. Drink water. Take your meds. Hopefully air quality will get better. You'll be breathing a bit easier. Have fun with your friends and your family and your loved ones. Enjoy it. Don't go too crazy. Be respectful of everyone. If you see somebody wearing a little skimpy outfit, it's not just for your enjoyment. It's because they're hot. It's hot as hell out here, folks. When the show comes back, there might be some changes. Maybe a new logo. Maybe some different music. Maybe a different background picture. I'm up for it. I want to change. I want to shake things up a little bit. 3 seasons. I think it's time I did that, right? Right? Think so? What do you say, my pancake heads? Should I? I'm going to take that as a yes. Even that was my laptop shaking, but the way it was bouncing up and down looked like you were nodding. I'm going to take that as a yes. So I will be back. Be a bit of a different show, even a little bit of a name change, because I want to focus more on visual and not so much the audio portion. Even though I still will be doing audio and putting out the podcast in audio form, I want this to be more of a visual medium. I want to change things up. You might even find some things from me during the summer in other venues. Who knows? But folks, on that note, you have a very enjoyable summer. Drink water, be good to yourselves, and remember, do the best you can with what you got, because in the end, that is all that you get. Thank you to each and every one of you who has listened, watched, subscribed, shared, commented, everything. Whether you are one of my pancake heads that I truly enjoy and love, or whether if you're a new viewer or what have you, or if you're a lapsed viewer and you're coming back and you're binging, I appreciate you all. Thank you so very much. Enjoy it and have a good one, folks. I'll see you in September. I apologize. That was horrible. Didn't nobody ask for that. Y'all have a good